What's up? I'm Shane. I'm a part of the Orange Students team, and we are so excited about a new installment of our standalone series called Let's Talk About. This season, we're focusing on the conversation on peace, and you know better than anyone just how challenging that peace can be in this phase. In the world and culture that your middle schoolers are living in, peace can be really hard to come by. Just think about it for a second. Isn't it interesting how easily middle schoolers view and consume content that is the exact opposite of peaceful? The volume of violent subject matter and imagery that's coming at students is alarming to say the least. Whether images of war, experiences with gun violence, bullying on social media, fighting, video games, sports, comic books, movies, in big and in small ways, violence has become an expected and almost normal part of life for this generation of middle schoolers. And we think that's a problem. Because not only does it desensitize and normalize the violence in the content that they're consuming or experiences that they're having, it also leaves a lasting emotional impact on your students. While self-awareness is still developing in this phase, they may not recognize just how much it's stealing their sense of peace. That's why we want to introduce them to a new way of thinking. We want to give them a path to peace, both for themselves and for other people, and that starts with the person of Jesus. This week, we'll look at the way Jesus pursued, taught, and lived out peace, both in his life and ministry on earth, and in his death on the cross. And as we do, we'll talk to your students about a better way to respond to the violence in our culture. A new way forward that is about the pursuit of the peace that passes all understanding, the peace that only Jesus can bring. In a world where peace seems unattainable, our hope is to help your middle schoolers see that peace can actually be possible. In fact, it can start with them in what they're consuming, how they're speaking, what they're experiencing, and in the way that they're living. Our goal is to challenge your students to consider the violence that they're consuming and the way that it may be impacting their lives, and in turn, to give them a path toward peace. Because, as Jesus shows us, peacemakers start with peace in their own hearts. And that's where we want your students to start. We're praying for you and your middle schoolers as you engage in such a critically important conversation.